days.
And what does she do?
She's a nurse for a charity, a local charity in Newport, and my 3 children.
So how long are you spending cooking on an evening?
Sometimes 2 to 2.5 hours.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Do you want to be spending 2.5 hours after work cooking?
No, I'd like to be in the kitchen less and more relaxing my wife and my children, yeah.
Jason needs a quick filling meal for 5, so we're heading to his. My delicious chicken shawarma proves that cooking a big feast doesn't have to be a marathon. Do you like a chicken kebab?
Yes.
Have you made a chicken kebab?
No, never have.
You are today.
Oh, right, okay.
We're going to start off with some chicken thigh. So come on, get your hands dirty.
Okay.
So if you cut those in half, and I like it boneless, that saves time. Somebody else has done the hard work for us. So if you can pop all that in there, we're going to make up a spice mix.
Okay.
Now while we're making up the spice mix, we're going to make up another batch. So the next time you're making this, you're not even measuring anything else. It's there, ready, tipping in, right?
Okay.
So we're going to start off with 2 tablespoons of corn flour. So 2 in there, and then 2 in there. Salt, 2 tablespoons of cayenne pepper.
2?
I'm not going to blow your head off, I promise. Cayenne's quite sweet.
Okay.
And this is clove. Have a sniff of that. So a teaspoon of that in there, and then the same amount goes into there. And then we've got paprika, coriander.
Coriander.
This one is cinnamon. Chicken and cinnamon work really well together.
I would never thought of putting cinnamon on
Would you
chicken.
not?
No.
Cumin.
Yeah.
And then we've got turmeric. Teaspoon of that. This punchy spice mix will last months, and next time Jason will be able to prep the dish in minutes. Oh, fast forward here. You can pop that away now.
Okay.
And let's get onto the shawarma.
Okay.
So, we need a good glove of oil. Give that spice mix a little stir around, and then get that covering up all that chicken. We're making enough for dinner and sandwiches for tomorrow's lunch, but for just 1 meal, you could halve the amounts. This is the fun bit. Get your bits of chicken and then just keep layering it up. And like wheel with your hands, kind of give it a little push. This clever little trick will instantly give you the same layered effect of kebab meat that's been spit roasted for hours. And then we're going to stick that in the oven, and that'll take 40 minutes.
Okay.
That's it. I mean, we're ahead of the game here.
Yeah, with it.
Cooking for the family can be hard at the best of times, especially when you work the hours Jason does. Once you're finished cooking and feeding the family, that's it, you're off to bed.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the only couple of hours that you've got.
They've got spare, yeah.
If you're spending less time cooking in the kitchen, you could be spending some time with the family.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you miss out a little bit?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. And have a good chat with them, see what the kids have done all day and learning in college and stuff like that. So yeah.
While the oven takes care of the chicken, we're going to whip up a slaw using raw broccoli and Greek yogurt. Pop some mustard seeds into hot oil until they pop. At the last minute, add mustard powder. That's done. Let's take that off and whack that straight in there. Oh, I love that sizzle. Finish off with parsley and just give it a stir. Surely that's going to be the quickest slaw you've ever made.
Easily, yeah.
Give that a good mix round and let's season it. That's done. In less than an hour, we'll have a meal ready. So there's hope for you yet.
There is hope for me.
I reckon we can eat your life back.
Yes, we can get it there. Together we'll do it.
We can get it back.
Yes.
With so many adults to feed, we can make the meal go further in an instant with shop bought flatbreads and stress-free microwaved rice, zhuzhed up with olive oil, mint and pomegranate.
We're in Morocco, we're not in Wales.
And now for the star of the show. Can you smell that?
Yeah, I can. It's beautiful.
It's a good
smell.
smell,
Yeah.
isn't it?
All those spices are fantastic.
Now, that thing that you see them do in the kebab shop.
That's looking beautiful. That really is. Absolutely beautiful.
Jason's dished up dinner for 6 in less than an hour, freeing up precious time with the family before he has to hit the hay at 7:30. Come on, dig in.
Oh, that chicken is gorgeous.
It's nice and spicy and moist, isn't it? Beautiful. I can't believe I like raw broccoli. Like that. It's so much tastier.
So do you think you'll make this again?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's beautiful.
What do you guys think?
Really enjoyed it.
Tasty, and it was really quick as well.
So you reckon you're not going to spend 2.5 hours every evening cooking?
No, I should be able to get this done in an hour now, easy.
And you're going to start enjoying your family
That's it.
and
Yeah.
spending a bit more time
And good
with them?
food as well to go with it, isn't it?
Exactly.
Exactly.
A month on, is Jason managing to claw back quality time with his family?
Hiya Nadia, just to say a big thank you for all the tips and advice you gave me in the cooking. I'm spending less time in the kitchen now and more time to relax in the evenings. Thanks Nadia. Thank you.
After a long, stressful day, sometimes you crave something just a bit special, but can't face preparing anything too complicated. I love sushi, but all of that rolling and slicing can be a little bit fiddly when you're flagging at the end of the day, unlike these salmon poke bowls, which have all the fun of sushi and none of the faff. This salmon poke bowl is my take on this hip Hawaiian dish. It's delicious, nutritious, and best of all, super fast and easy to make. Every good poke bowl starts off with rice. You could use any rice that you want, but I like sushi rice because it's a short grain and it's really sticky. If you're really short of time, just heat up some microwave packet stuff. Easy peasy. But cooking rice from scratch is in my DNA. My granddad was a rice farmer, and if we didn't know how to cook rice, by the age of about 7, you're ostracized. But don't worry, I have a foolproof method that'll ensure you'll never end up wasting your time. Find yourself a wooden spoon and stick a line on it, about 1.5 centimeters. And as soon as you kind of have enough water up to that line, that's about right. When you get it right every single time, you can almost pat yourself on the back and say, I did that again. Give it a stir and simmer until the rice absorbs all the water. I've got 3 little kids. We live on salmon. This is the kind of stuff that we have in the house all the time. This is uber fresh farmed Scottish salmon, so I'm not even going to cook it. Because we're eating this raw, I like to have small chunks. Otherwise, it just feels like you're eating raw fish. Is that weird? You can see that there's no water left. Leave that to steam for about 10 minutes, and then that gives me loads of time to crack on with the rest of the dish. Next, my simple dressing. I'm going to make this dressing out of stuff that I have in the cupboard all the time. So I'm going to start off with some mayonnaise. I'm going to add sriracha. This chili sauce will give it a spicy boost. Soy sauce. It smells so good. Bit of sesame oil, not too much because that's quite strong. Fish sauce. Oh, so fishy. Lemon juice. And then give that a little mix. Just to finish it off, just a little bit of black pepper. I say a little bit of black pepper. I like a lot of black pepper. If you're going to dress your salmon, dress it well. Look at that. Even when you're flagging, this is so easy to put together, and bonus, you get to use up all those nagging little leftovers knocking around in your fridge. I've always got spring onion. I'm not even going to bother getting a knife out. I'm just going to just use my scissors. My number 1 hack for making quick work of chopping. I've always got this odd carrot. It's not enough to make a carrot cake. It's not enough to do anything else with. So this is perfect for something like this. As a simple shortcut to the authentic flavour of sushi, I'm just going to roll up these sheets of dried seaweed and give them a snip. Now I'm going to just check on the rice, and you can see, look at that. That's what sushi rice is all about, and that's what makes great sushi, is because the rice all sticks together. Season it with some salt, sugar, and then some vinegar. That smells so good. This is it. I'm ready to put my bowl together, and all in about 15 minutes. Your rice is almost like the canvas. No matter how tired you are, take time to create something beautiful.
It looks good.
I always have pickled red cabbage.
Yeah, it
Look
really
at that colour.
does.
What's not to like?
The chicken
This
looks a bit
recipe isn't
juicy.
about cooking. It's about piling on your favourite ingredients
Oh.
and making it special. Oh, there's something about that creamy goodness that you get from peanuts. Oh, I love it. Some sesame seeds. Just a bit of black pepper, because I think salmon likes black pepper.
Really yummy.
I almost don't want to eat it, but I'm going to eat it. My salmon poke bowl, a tasty streamlined supper that will lift your spirits as well as bank you precious time. I like to put them down because they're slowing me down. No two mouthfuls are the same. They taste different every single time. After a long day at work, sometimes dinner is the last thing on your mind. But in 15 minutes, I've just cooked up some rice and put some stuff together. And we've got this beautiful, beautiful dish that tastes out of this world. Now, if you don't mind, could you leave me with my bowl?
Oop.
Salmon isn't just ridiculously tasty, it takes no time to prepare and it's so good for you too. We can't get enough of it in our house, so I'm heading to Ullapool on the west coast of Scotland to find out how it's produced. Salmon is now so popular in the UK, we buy more of it than any other fish. But how do farmers meet the demands of our insatiable appetites? Established in 1977, Westeros is the oldest independent salmon farm in the country. Salmon is Scotland's biggest food export, worth over £500 million. The company employs 55 people, with over a dozen looking after the salmon on this farm. Their day starts at 7 a.m, and I'm here to clock on with manager Gilpin. So the farm is here, right
Absolutely,
here?
the farm is here. Quite often people stand on the beach here and they say, now where is it?
Yeah,
so
where
it's
is it?
deliberately tucked in just behind that island there. It's quite low profile. We live in a fantastic marine environment and we don't want our activity to be too obtrusive.
I'd never know there's a farm out there.
Well, but if you jump in the boat, we're going to take you out there and you can learn all about it. It's
I
going to be
don't
fun.
wash my water.
If you give me your arm, you hear me okay?
It's a big fluorescent
Perfect.
Teletubby.
Looking
Right.
good.
So how much salmon do you produce?
Between 500 and 600,000 salmon every year.
I can't even
That's
imagine that.
a lot of salmon.
So the salmon that you've got on the farm,
Yes.
are they born here?
No, well, the critical thing to remember about salmon is it spends part of its life in freshwater and part in seawater. So today's salmon that we'll see on this farm are 2.5 years old.
Right.
Take 2.5 years to reach market size effectively from birth.
That's a long time.
It certainly is.
So this is it.
Absolutely.
Do they have to be netted in?
Yeah, it's basically a floating raft, and each pen is about 10 meters deep.
It's actually like a farm, but in the sea.
Absolutely. Take your hand. Okay. Super.
Okay, everything looks small from over there.
Indeed.
But this is massive.
Each pen is 15 meters square.
So how many pens do you have?
Yeah, so we have 14 pens in total.
Okay, and how many fish in each pen?
Well, just now they're stocked at about 9 to 10,000 fish per pen. It's probably about 1% salmon, 99% water.
Wow.
So they've got a lot of space to swim around in.
Yeah,
And they started life being transferred from fresh water at 100 grams, okay?
tiny.
And now we're looking at about this size,
Yeah.
4.5 to 5 kilo average.
Keeping up with our insatiable demand for this popular fish requires dedication. The farmers are out here every single day of the year, whatever the weather, to tend to the salmon. Can I have a go at feeding?
Nadia, I'm delighted. I really need to go feeding. Come and learn. Mike, I've got an apprentice. Nadia. How you doing?
It looks like little bits of licorice. It doesn't smell like licorice.
It certainly doesn't smell like licorice.
What is this made up of?
There's wheat, there's corn, there's trimmings from wild fish like mackerel, herring to give the essential oils and stuff like that.
So it's full of nutrients.
Yes,
Is there a technique?
Don't overfill your scoop,
Yeah.
and a flick of the rest just to spread it all out.
How many years have you been doing this for?
32.
You seem to have got that flick of the wrist down. Look, I can't guarantee I'll be any good because my hands are frozen. Oh my goodness.
If your accuracy is not too good, there's a few ducks here waiting for some feed. And look how happy the salmon are.
They're jumping
Look
up.
at the
They're
reaction.
really happy.
Yeah, and they're hungry.
You do get attached to them.
Do you?
Yeah, I mean, like you look after them, you want the best result at the end of the day. Yeah, see, practice makes perfect.
Yeah. So let's talk about something that's really important and that's on everybody's lips. Sustainability.
You know, we're operating in a pristine marine environment, and if we're not responsible, the #1 person to suffer